Long ago, in a quiet mountain village, there lived a woman known only as the Weaver. Her hut sat on the edge of the forest, and from dawn until dusk you could hear the gentle clack, clack of her loom. What made her special wasn't just her skill, though her cloth was finer than any merchant's. It was her thread. Her thread caught light in a strange way when she wove. The fabric shimmered faintly, as though dawn itself had been captured in the fibers. People whispered that she had bartered for her skill with forest spirits, or that her loom was woven from the stars themselves. Of course, villagers never stopped to wonder too long about mysteries, as long as they could buy her cloth for winter. One morning a boy named Wren came to her door. He was thin, hungry looking, with ragged sleeves. In his hands was a single coin, barely enough for a half loaf of bread. "Please," he said. "They say your cloth keeps a person warm even in the coldest snows. Winter's coming soon, and my mother is ill. I don't have much, but will you trade me something small?" The weaver looked at the boy, then down at the single coin. She could have turned him away. Instead, she smiled, took the coin and wove all day and night. By morning, she handed him not a scrap, but a whole scarf, golden light shimmering across every fiber. Wren could hardly speak. He tried to thank her, but the weaver only waved him off. "Go take care of your mother." Word spread quickly, as gossip always does. Soon, merchants from the city heard that this weaver had given away an entire scarf for a single coin. They came knocking not with coins, but with silver, then gold, then gems. "Make us tunics, cloaks, rugs. We'll pay you 10 times her worth, 20 times. The weaver refused. "I don't weave for riches. I weave to keep people warm. But wealth is stubborn." Eventually, the king himself heard of the golden thread. He dispatched soldiers to bring the weaver to his palace. "Woman," he said, sitting on his jeweled throne, "I command you to weave me a cloak of golden thread, the finest cloak the kingdom has ever seen." The weaver bowed politely. "Majesty, I cannot." The king frowned. "Cannot or will not?" "Both," she replied gently. "The thread is not mine to command." At this the king grew curious. "Then whose is it?" The weaver sighed and for the first time told her secret. "The forest gives it. When I weave for kindness, the thread shines gold. But if I weave for greed, it tangles and snaps." The king laughed. "Superstition guards, fetch her loom." So they brought the loom into the palace, and the weaver tried to weave under the king's orders. But just as she had warned, the thread knotted upon itself, broke and dulled until it looked no brighter than twine. The king scowled. Lies and trickery. Throw her in the dungeon. But before the guards could seize her, the weaver raised a single hand. Her calm presence stilled even the most iron-hearted soldier. She left the broken loom behind and said, "Majesty, no chain is tighter than greed. You bound yourself already." And with that she stepped from the palace, walked back to her village, and lived the rest of her years, weaving for those who needed warmth. Children, travelers, the sick, the poor. The cloth always shimmered, soft as dawn's first glow. As for the king's court, though draped in silks, they were said to have shivered every winter, no matter how many embers burned in their hearths.